Okay, welcome back. This is session 9 of the Pillars of Eternity Lorethrough, being recorded again on June 3rd, 2023. It's a few hours since the last session, but the same day as sessions 7 and 8. Last session, we explored this area, the Wood End Plains. We filled it out, and we ran into Sagani right about the crossroads right here. Sagani is a boreal dwarf who is looking for an elder of her village, more specifically the soul of an elder of her village. She doesn't know what body she is looking for, but she knows she is looking for the soul. So we have a full party now of 6, and I have been putting off for a while. I've been putting off the crypt, tombs, whatever you want to call it, underneath the temple in Gilded Vale. So that's where I think I want to go now. We are probably going to be way too strong for this. We also have Stormwall Gorge over here in the Deerford Village. But let's go to Gilded Vale right now and finally get that underground temple out of the way. Oh, main keep construction completed. Oh, also, we're going to get attacked on the 21st on their stronghold. Don't want to forget that. Oh, so what's this here? Resolve attack. 2 days, 2 hours remain. The blue-collar bandits from the northern wilds have been reported crossing the plains east of Cadnua. They will be at our doorstep any day now. Let's do manual resolve. I don't know what this does. You must travel to Cadnua to participate in the defense. Okay. So let's do that first. Once again, I'm putting off this temple thing to go to Cadnua.
Walls need some work before this place is secure.
My
husband could fix them right up.
Probably should have picked my next upgrade. But I'll just do it now. A lot of things require the Western Barbican, so let's do that first. Wow. Bjartur is almost already dead before anything even happens. Yeah, just have bandits here. Man, they just came right after Bjartur, didn't they?
No! Get off, lad!
Ooh, bang!
Most! That's not. Anna! Most inconvenient. I hear with.
Can't get a good.
Leave it. on the wit feather yet!
Dead on.
Eothas!
Well, not pretty, but you did it.
It's very nice. We're not sleeping here, are we?
They're not impressed with my stronghold. Sagani and Eloth have both said something negative about it. It's gonna get better, guys, I promise. Before I do a manual resolve next time, I should make sure that I am all rested up and everything, because that was sketchy. Another dream. Okay, now I promise we are going to go
This keep will be a sight to see.
to the Eothasian temple. Dunridge Scion was en route to Cadnua, but was accosted by brigands on the road and had to flee. Consider raising your security to ensure the safety of travelers. Huh. Okay. Obviously I plan on doing that, but it's not there yet. Our stronghold is still very new. Okay, here we are. Let's get a reminder of exactly what's going on down here. I think this is Buried Secrets. Lord Radric has decided to rededicate Gilded Vale's abandoned Eothasian temple to a new deity. The entrance to the temple has been cleared, allowing entry for the first time in many years. Inside the temple, I encountered a man called Wharton, who wishes for me to search the ruins for the remains of the Eothasian priests he tells me Radric's guards slaughtered many years ago. Wharton remembered that the temple is full of secret compartments, and that I will likely find the remains of the lowest floor of the temple. Wharton also warned me, however, that the temple has become infested with spiders and skulder, both of which we have fought so far. So Radric, I guess, cleared this out in the most Radric way possible by killing everybody that was in here, and because he didn't want this to be an Eothasian temple anymore. Eothas was the god that, I was going to say infested, which might be a good word, but that's not the word that he would have used for it. Blessed the body of Saint Widewin, who basically became Eothas and fought as Eothas until he was destroyed by the Godhammer bomb. And because of all that, then a lot of the Adiran colonists consider Eothas to be an enemy and not worthy of worship, whereas Rhaed Saris and the Glanfathans up there still believe that he is. So let's go to the temple. Will-o-wisp. Something there. Bjartur is just getting annihilated right away. All the time. Why is that? Oh, wrong thing.
not getting through me.
These things like know who the party leader is or something like that, because he is just getting killed. Okay. This parchment is worn and tattered, and the ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, must have just as much faith in ourselves.
Of course.
Leave it to me! To me! If it makes you rest easier.
The red-brown smears flake away under the toe of your boot. Sounds like it must be blood. The nearby crystals light the cracked mosaic floor in shades of orange, and at certain angles the metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold. As you look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. The very dust and air seem to pull together until a thin, glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam, you sometimes think you could see the shape of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks movement. The spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and in the next moment you are somewhere else, your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You are in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in great crowd, spilling into the hall. Bodies press against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles, and the room is dark, save for the podium, lit from behind. 2 people stand before it, lit in silhouette. The man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says, but the rectrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you all through these dark times. You feel that hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. This right here, you feel that hope like a spark. Oh, her strength will see you through these dark times. It seems like this might be the memory of someone from Leaden Key, and this her would be Woodica. The spirit tears itself from you with sudden, dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar, swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it appeared. Sagani draws up next to you. You all right? Looked almost like you lost your footing for a minute. Feels that way when I see into the ether. She watches you quietly. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually such individuals become elders or a lone set of tracks in the snow. She cocks her head. I would have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you could see, but looking at you, I'm not so sure. Neither am I. Believe it or not, this is Sagani. I once would have rejoiced to know I'd picked to travel far in search of something great, but even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about him, says Deer. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off, says Aloth. Every time he goes a little strange in the face, I try and see if I can hear anything, Kana grins. Hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirit said. So Sagani believes me now. She got duped by a fake watcher before, but she seems to believe that Bearter is actually a watcher.
Brave.
Initiate's note. This parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it is faded. You can make out a few patches of careful, tidy script. Isitors to the ritual for. Erectrix Oberca says, Demption, for even these Orgot and struck the largest bell first, rather than the second. The rest is illegible. So I know there's some kind of puzzle at the end of this whole thing about with like 3 or 4 bells, and you have to ring them in the right order. So this one says the largest bell is first. Let's see if I can actually figure this out this time. I think I've always had to look it up before. Some camping supplies.
Braved out Elon. Braved out.
Dead on!
Spider venom sac. This is probably because the ivory spinners use venom rather than their spear legs of the spear spiders. The mottled venom gland of a spider bulging with deadly fluids. A letter home. Mother, I have asked Brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Hemar, come morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope I will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming, for I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and though I do not wish for you to worry, I do not feel it is safe to remain. I know Rectrix Oberka would not approve, but the letter trails off here. Who is this Rectrix Oberka person? Whoever sat here left in a hurry. Ink has dripped across the scroll, obscuring its contents. The pile of furniture is branded with scorch marks. Oh, Durrance has discovered something. So that must be some kind of perception bonus right there.
Haven't seen before.
Secret door. Skulder Whelp.
Braved out.
These collapsed stones are pocked with burrows and narrow crevices. Claw marks and dung mark the passage of beasts. Vermin have scoured these plates, though mold still grows in green-black clumps across the table.
Been poisoned.
Ooh, Durrance is poisoned. Torque of Falcon Eyes, perception +2. Amulets are most often gems, medallions, or other items worn around the neck, while some serve as purely ornamental purpose. Many are imbued with charms and spells to aid the wearer. Torques are stiff rings around the neck. Like amulets, they often have magical properties. So I'm going to give that to Durrance, because he seems to be the one that's noticing things. We also have a garnet, which I think I read before, and a potion of fleet feet, which ups my move speed. Give that to Kana, I guess? I don't know. I'm going to equip this torque here. Oh, he's already got something. So maybe... So he's already got that minor cloak of protection. He has a healing bonus and +5 reflex. Give this one to Sagani. Also have a ring here. Oh, I wanted to give that one to Durrance. What's this do? Hermit's Hat. Immunity to confuse and +2 intellect. It's stupid looking, but that's okay. Alright. Scolder.
Brave thou Philar.
Not to alarm, but I'm... Not...
Not everybody is hitting things here. We have a spirit over here. A haze fills the air, coalescing steadily into a blur of dust and mist. It gathers into the outline of what appears to be a dwarf, a shimmering echo that fades in and out of sight. But stronger than sight is the sense within you of a powerful energy. It roils and seethes with a grief that seems to spill into your own thoughts, tainting them until the sorrow is your own. Like a crashing wave, the energy surges towards you, and suddenly you're elsewhere. Before you is a brightly lit stone corridor, lined with torches and gleaming crystals. You're running, your footsteps echoing off the stone around you. You forgot to tie your sandals, and they're slipping from your feet, fouling your steps. You're late. Again. The rite's going to begin without you. You hear the rolling of a bell, and your spirits lift as you recognize the familiar, warped tone of the right hand, representing the first of the dawn stars to appear in the night sky and last to fade into the dawn light. You pray fiercely that this is the first of the chimes and not the last. So it seems like this person is at least allied with the Dawn Stars, if not a Dawn Star themselves. Dawn Stars, I believe, recognize Eothas as a true god. So this is somebody that was actually a part of the Eothasian temple and an Eothasian priest, or at least somebody that followed Eothas in some manner. The lights fade, as does the memory, and when your eyes clear, the spirit is gone. Okay, so it says, I have seen some manner of spirit within the temple, or a memory at least. In this memory I recalled an Eothasian rite involving the ringing of bells. The first and last of these tolls, apparently, is that of the right hand, which has a distinctive warped tone to it. So, the right bell, maybe? Or something with the right hand is both the first and last bell to ring. Okay. A powerful odor of spices rises from one of these dishes. Vibrant dyes and grain seeds fill the others. Scolder ear. I believe I read that already. It just says the tattered ear of a scolder. Oh, here's the bells. The door to the lower floor appears to be sealed with some enchantment. There is a set of bells beside the door which may play a part in opening it. So the right is the first and last.
Brave thou
Gonna maybe off camera I'll see what's going on with the AI, because I don't know if it's just a glitch or not, but it seems like these guys are not attacking when they should be attacking, like after something dies. Monsters of the Deadfire Archipelago. Have I read this one yet? I have not read it yet, but I made a note of it. Maybe we'll read when we're out of here, because I'd like to finish this up today, this session, this temple. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernal, Valiant tragedy. I'm going to make a note of that one too. Okay. Fine sword. It's got a saber. Fine S-stock. I don't need that fine sword for anybody. To His Grace, I write to implore. The rest of the letter is crossed out in several places and then abandoned altogether. These prayer scrolls are coated in a thick layer of grime and dust. The Deerwood Part 2, The Broken Stone War. Here we go. So we have read Part 1, which was early Deerwood and colonial history. This is another one that we'll read when we get out of here. Maybe session, I think, 10, which is, right now I'm in session 9. Maybe session 10 will be a lot of book reading.
A simple test, that's settled.
We also have The Great Western Stag and Book of Verses. More books to read when we get out of here. Everything mapped out here. Looks like it, so now it's time to figure out what's going on with these bells. Maybe I can actually figure it out on my own this time without having to look at a guide, but who knows. Three bells hang from the stone protrusion that runs along this wall. Years of dust and grime coat the metal. There is one large bell at the center, flanked by two smaller ones. Examine the bells. The bells appear to be fully intact. They are made of thick iron and look very heavy. There doesn't appear to be much out of the ordinary about them. I'm going to look at these notes again that I have. There was a way to sort by last picked up or something like that. It looks like, oh, they kind of already are. Strike the largest bell first rather than second. And then the note said the right bell was the first and the last. Yeah. Oh God, here we go. The largest bell first rather than the second. And then here it says, first and last of these tolls apparently is that of the right hand, which has a distinctive warped tone to it. So let's see what happens here. You heave the bell as it swings back in the other direction. The clapper strikes a low, powerful note against the heavy iron. You feel the ringing in your chest as the sound moves through the ruined halls in a rolling tide. The bell tolls a high, piercing note of startling power. The tone echoes merrily through the halls until it seems that a dozen chirping notes ring through the temple. The bell sounds a strange warbling peal that grows to a painful shrillness before it diminishes to a mournful chime. Okay, so that right hand is the one that sounds like it's not quite right. And this one says the first and the last of these tools apparently is that of the right hand, which has a distinctive. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it doesn't mean the first struck, but first in order. So let's do the right bell, the middle, the left, the right. A peculiar chime rings through the ruins. There's a quiet, melodic chime from all three bells before their discordant voices meet in one powerful, rising rush of sound. It seems to fill the whole of the temple, a driving flood of song that drowns all other thought. As the tolling fades, you hear a creak from the direction of the doors as the passage to the lower level swings open. Wow. I did it. Good job, me. Okay. I think maybe when I played this game before, I was getting hung up on, it said there were 2 first bells, but that note that said something about how the large bell has to be rung first, I don't think it meant first in order, it just meant before the one on the left. Okay, let's head down. Quest updated. Find the remains of the Eothasian priests. I have descended into the lower level of the temple. If Wharton spoke true, then the remains of the murdered priests are down here somewhere.
Not strange looking back. All the time I spent here growing up. Never seeing what was coming.
Shadow? So I guess that means Adir spent a lot of time in this temple. Some shadows.
All right then.
Man, not picking up on these traps, am I? That killed Al out there. Or took his endurance down, knocked him out, I guess is the right word. -2 dexterity, -8 damage reduction from a burn. Cape withdrawal. +15 defense when disengaging. I don't know who to give that to. Maybe Kana. I don't know if that given to him or not. Eldritch aim, +15 accuracy. Give that one to Sagani.
A simple test.
Fine Estoc. I think Kana already has a fine Estoc. Yes, he does. Okay. Shadow. 3 shadows. 4 shadows. Turns is stuck. That's okay. It doesn't look like I'm gonna need him. Got a little nervous that there are 4 of them, but it seems like okay. Hey, I actually noticed it. Trap disarmed. Nice. Got an amethyst. Amethyst can be found in a variety of shades, but those of darkest purple are considered to be the most valuable. Discovery of new sources has become commonplace in the past few hundred years, and amethyst no longer fetches the same value it once did.
Test is in order.
Didn't catch that one. Cloak of an Eothasian priest of will +9. Phantom has joined us in this room.
Course.
Okay, so Aloth is exhausted and he's hurt. Let's rest. Fighting spirits. So let's do that. Another dream.
Brave thou shalt. Brave thou shalt. Brave thou shalt.
And we have a phantom yelling betrayed. So I think down here, it seems like down here, these Eothasian priests, because they experienced some kind of extreme trauma, because they were murdered and slaughtered, then they turned into shadows and phantoms, rather than their souls passing to the beyond.
Of course.
It is not within our natures to forgive. Those who seek redemption seek a long and winding path, a road which takes us down into the very hollows of our soul and asks us to reflect upon the fractured aspects of ourselves. It's a book that's on this podium here.
Brave thou shalt.
Yeah, these shadows are pretty weak, so I don't feel like I have to worry about these things. You hear a grinding noise beneath your feet and the rush of water. Okay, so that's irreversible.
A simple test.
Requires 1 lockpick.
That's settled. Brave thou shalt.
Lesser black ooze. Whoa.
Leave it to me!
A gleaming silver key. That might be for the door that I just unlocked.
All right then.
Was there no water in here before? Is that what I did with that little wheel over there? 3 shadows.
Brave thou Philo.
5 shadows. I feel like he's got to just have a regular, like... I'll give that to him.
Just like an adherent. Step. Yeah. Yeah.
Eoth is frostbitten. A crumpled note. This letter is fairly intact, though the parchment itself has been crumpled. Gesture. I know that the temple baths boast great healing properties and that your back ails you still. Still, I would ask that, if you are to indulge for the greater part of the day, you give over your key to the sanctum for someone else for safekeeping. This is not the first time we've been forced to wait to perform the day's rites, and Rectrix Oberka is often too far below to hear our knocking. Does this water heal me? I don't know. Doesn't look like anything's happening. Scroll of Jolting Touch. Eothasian Prayer. Another book that I think we have to read. Do have to go soon, so I don't know if we'll be able to finish this temple in this session. Jasper.
All right, then.
Still dark waters are reflective as black glass.
Brave thou Philo.
Skulder King. It was the Skulder King, but still only got an ear from it.
At once.
Pilgrim's lasting vessel of resolve of perception. Just gave that to him because it looks like something he might want to wear. This is blocked or something here? That's interesting. Oh. Okay, so that might be the exit back to the beginning. Let me go down here first. I can hear something happening. Okay. Looks like there's some kind of secret that I need to get past this door. I can hear something happening down here, so I think I'm going to have to wait, though, for next time, because we've got people coming over in a little bit, and I need to get going. So we'll try and find out what's behind this door next time, figure out the Eothasian temple, and maybe do some reading of all these books that we found down here too. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate any kind of engagement that you can give, whether it's critical or anything else to add. I would love to hear that. So we will see you again in session 10. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you then.